Hey everybody, happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? Hey Craig, hope you're doing well. Hey Rebecca, Suburban Hillbilly. Hey Spartman. Hello Lisa Kalovi. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hey Heather, Milk and Honey Heritage Farm. Hey Spartman, another day in paradise. Yeah, gosh, it was a busy day today. How about for the rest of you? I'm tired, but we got some good stuff done today. Got some bread made some cottage cheese from Raw Milk, which was nice. And hey, Troy Sutton, good to see you. And yeah, moved Eleanor in with Norman, which was a trip. Went very smoothly, but the last time Norman was in with Eleanor, she almost killed him. So right now he's tippy toeing around her. Heather said, "Scene busy." Spartman says our runnings has had chick tubs up for 2 weeks now, but it doesn't look they have ever had anything in them yet. I think they usually get them up and get them ready ahead of time, and then they start, and then it's like they just start coming in and coming in. And I know that different breeds and different species come in at different times. Like the quail won't, not quail, the pheasants won't come in until May, and then they'll get a delivery like every week, um, and things like that. Lisa Clovey, what are you doing here? I thought you were not going to be here tonight. Oh, I'm glad you're there, Craig. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know they get like ducks, and then they get certain kinds of ducks and stuff like that. Oh, Lisa Clovey, you don't need to do that, sweetie. Just go enjoy your evening. Everybody, while she's here, wish her a happy birthday. Lisa Clovey's got a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Um, so yeah, they get different breeds and stuff like that. But go enjoy the band, Lisa. Oh, thanks, Spartman. Thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. That's so sweet. Um, but yeah, so just getting stuff done. Some things we planned, some things we didn't. Um, so that's how it goes. But I'm glad Eleanor is in with Norman. I like the pigs to get, even though it's like they have to get reacquainted every time, I like them to get used to being with one another because it makes it easier to move them. And Eleanor is just, she's food motivated, so she's easy to move, thankfully. Oh, you guys rock. Thank you. Um, and so that's good. But we do know that, well, we have observed Eleanor being bred on 3 occasions. So we decided to take Eleanor out of the picture over in the sow barn. Now it's just Grant and Fiona because we think that Fiona being so passive and low on the hierarchy is kind of interfering with some things. I'll just leave it at that. So hopefully he can focus on her. Let me just type this to Lisa Kalovi. She said she can't hear me because she's at a place with a band and she's still modding. um, do you, Heather? I'm not sure that I know what you mean. Do you something first time you saw pigs breed? Um, yeah, I've seen them breed every year except last year. I never saw it because we were kind of busy and just didn't have the time. And we said, well, we'll just, oh, do you remember the first time you saw them breed? Yeah. Yeah. I have to tell you, well, I do remember why, because what was funny about it, Sherman was trying to mount the wrong end of the pig. That's what it made me laugh. And I told my pig mentor that something's wrong with my boar because he's trying to mount the wrong side. Hey, Holman's Homestead, you arrived at the funny part of the conversation. But yeah, so Eleanor has been bred, well, mounted 3 times, so we'll assume she's been bred. And then now we're just waiting on Fiona. But Grant, oh, was it last week? I don't know if I remember I told you guys or if it happened after. I can't remember now. But the chaos at feeding time is out of control when Grant is in with the girls, and he knocked Fiona down on her back and she choked, and thankfully she resolved it on her own. Rebecca, you're too funny. But I think she's going to be a little gun shy with Grant, because I've noticed she is gun shy with him after he knocked her over and she choked. So we'll see how that goes. But it makes it less chaotic to have 2 and 2 versus the 3 in there. So that's what we want to do. So that works out pretty well. So I'm kind of curious for you guys, like, so sometimes what we do is we really plan things out or we don't plan anything. It's sort of like a mix. Ryan is more of a planner than I am. And hi, Off Grid World. Good to see you. Sometimes I just do things willy-nilly, for lack of a better term. So I'm kind of curious where you guys are at. Do you plan everything down and have a plan B and a plan C and all that? Or do you just take it spontaneously? Or do you do a mix of both? I'm kind of curious. Some people plan certain things out, like seedlings. I know that they need to be planned out. I'm behind the 8 ball on that this year. But I kind of do a mix of both. So Off Grid World said, I'm a planner, but can be spontaneous. Cool. Can you give examples? I'm curious because I'd love to know. If I plan something, it goes to pieces. LOL. Yeah, we have that problem too. Don't worry. You're not alone in that. You're not alone in that, Holman's Homestead. Hey, Ariella. Good to see you. So you guys, I don't have Lisa Clovey tonight, just letting you know. Spartman says, what is this planning you speak of? We try to plan some things, and some not. I mean, so that's kind of the way it goes. Today happened to be a very unplanned, busy morning on top of the things I had planned. But we were able to get everything done, so that's all that matters. Heather at Milk and Honey says a mix of both, where we try to accomplish one new bigger project each season. That's smart. That's smart. Rebecca says, I was going to come home and rest a couple days after my surgery into November and start planting my garden. No. Yeah. Well, things get, the reality of it is best laid plans go poof, right? Or they change, that kind of thing. Chaos gardening where you throw seeds in areas. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have our peppers started. I didn't start any tomatoes. I don't think I'm going to do any. Hey, Robin, Garden State so and so. I didn't start any tomatoes. I think I'm going to take a break from them this year. But I can't believe that March is almost over. It's the 21st. Where did February and March go? Went so quick. Yep, my stay in the hospital really set me back. Of course it did. For sure. For sure. Stuff like that rolls around and it's like that really gets in the way of things, you know? So like we've been planning on making and we've been working on it here and there. It's really not a me project, it's more a Ryan project because he has it in his head. Hey, the Cow Emporium, good to see you, Annette. Hope calving days are going smoothly overall. I say that loosely because I know that calving is rough. But Ryan's been working on when he can what's a shoot, for lack of a better term. Like when you work with cattle and you work with sheep and you've got those things that you could put them in. And, he's trying to make a cage and he was going to make it with a motor and it was going to lift up the pigs so we can do their tusks and also their hooves. Well, then he saw something different. And now that we have the forklift, the plan changed. But still, we just need this thing done. All of my Japanese maples already covered with leaves. That's awesome. Hey, Jennifer Ocean, good to see you. Off-grid world, my Ryan finally got our solar up and running. So amazing. 2 years in the making. That's awesome. That's so cool. Holman's Homestead said, I plan on getting the greenhouse cleaned out first thing in the morning. Then a buddy called this evening if me and Dan could help butcher a hog in the morning. Yeah, exactly. That's a busy day because you guys butcher them big hogs. That is going to be a busy day. More hands on deck needed for sure. We are, I don't know, at some point I've got to get seeds started aside from the peppers. Usually I do them first week in April, but I may start this week and then I don't know, some days, it's a plan, and other days it's not. So, and Annette, we were talking about, do you plan everything out or do you just play it by ear or do you do a mix of both? I'd say right now you're playing it by ear with the calving going on. I loved your snail rose, had to share it. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's not my idea, I have to be honest. Hold on a second. Not my idea. But I really loved it last year and it worked out so well because I was able to leave the plants in the snail rolls for 3 months until they got put outside. So that worked out great. No up potting, none of that stuff. So I like that, but thank you. Jennifer Ocean says, I still have space left in my garden collab. If anyone wants to join last minute, just need to email me ASAP so seeds can be mailed out ASAP. So if you're interested, let Jennifer know. Net says, I don't always make a plan to do things. Sometimes it depends on how I feel. Exactly. Yes, I totally get it. I'm on fire some days and I'm not on fire other days. And that's the way I've always been. I've always been somebody who will knock out a ton of things in one day and then not do much the next day. Rebecca says, I was a planner and my lists have lists. I'll never be caught up again. Yeah. You know what? And that's okay. That's okay. I know you're frustrated, but that's okay. Because if we're always rushing around to do things, it's just like we lose sight and we lose being in the moment, and we've been doing a lot of reflecting here and it's just, I don't know if you guys do it, but we reflect and look back on what we've done the past 5 years and how much we've changed and grown and learned, right down to the amazing food we eat. And it's truly incredible. It's truly incredible. And we're just really, proud, um, proud of accomplishments, um, thrilled, and it's truly amazing. If I found great sales or a really good yard sale stuff for free, I have a newfound energy from excitement, and you'd be surprised how much you can get done when you're in a super happy mood. That's true. Thanks, Ariella. Reflecting shows us how far we've come. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like this morning, I took out a bunch of egg and fruit to defrost and made it into something, but that doesn't always get made, and then the chickens get it. Oh, yep. Veg. Okay, I got what you're saying. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got some, a friend of mine, her dairy cow, her new milk cow. Hi, Andale. Good to see you. My friend got a milk cow, and her milk cow gave birth, calved on Sunday. Same thing, right? Calved on Sunday. And she called me this morning and was like, I've got a ton of milk that, we can't use. And she was inundated. Her milk machine died after 4 days. And it's just, poor thing. She's adjusting to it. And long story short, she said to me, I have almost 5 gallons of milk that I want to give to you for the pigs. So I'm mixing it with their feed, and I'm, confident in the safety of it from her. And so I went and got the milk because she needed the jars to milk her cow this morning. So she was just like, I'm out of jars. I'm getting like 5 gallons a day. So I'm thrilled because I've been waiting for this because she's going to sell milk and I want to buy it from her. So she gave us the milk, and I will give that to the pigs. I'm confident doing that. I'm not a trash feeder when it comes to my pigs. Hey, Rochelle Brampton Gardner. Hey, Drops Family Garden. Hope I didn't miss anybody. But anyway, the really cool part is she gave me the milk. It's a nice treat for the pigs. And I ended up mixing it in with their feed. And right now their feed needs to be a little more watery because we're trying to avoid the choking scenario again with Fiona and Grant. And so that's working out well. So literally that's 2 days of feed, mixing their feed in. That's 2 5-gallon buckets of feed for the day. Does that make sense? Yeah. So their morning and night food for 2 days is mixed in with that milk, which is great. And it's cold enough out. So I have the 5-gallon bucket in that back room where Norman was, and it's like a refrigerator. So it's perfect. Well, then on top of it, she hands me a 1/2 gallon of milk that was milked this morning. I've only had raw goat's milk. I've never had raw cow's milk. I just didn't grow up with it. And I didn't drink it. I ended up making cottage cheese and butter. I had a 1/2 gallon, so I didn't make a lot. My goal was cottage cheese, but I'm just so excited because when she gets her machine back up and running, it'll be so great to do that because I'm in beef country. So if I want to get beef, I can do that. If I want to get bison, I can do that. But to get actual raw milk is really cool. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, really blessed, Annette. I was really excited. So she's got, I think she's got a Jersey. It's not illegal here, but there's, rules on it and stuff. But But she just said to me, she's like, you're going to heat it, right? Because she feels funny because it wasn't in the machine. She milked by hand and followed all the clean procedures. But in her mind, she was afraid there might still be some colostrum up on it. There is nothing but cream in mine from this morning. And I was looking, it said 3 to 5 days. The other thing is she felt funny giving it to somebody to drink because she hadn't used the machine. That's in her head. She thinks it's more sterile in the machine. So I was like, I'm making cottage cheese. So it was going to get cooked. Hey, Rambling with the Brums. I hope you're doing well, Scott. So very excited about that because dairy is the one thing we are not going to have. Not going to have. So there's not enough land for a dairy animal. Maybe a goat, but I really don't want goat milk. I want raw cow milk. But I think about cottage cheese. I think about the half and half we buy, sour cream, cream cheese. I think about all those things. So I told her today, I was like, when you're ready to sell, please keep me in mind because I will be your customer. So we will definitely be buying a lot of that because my goal is to make all that stuff. Exactly, Annette. In fact, I was looking into it because I admit my lack of knowledge made me kind of leery on the colostrum, but because some of the milk she gave me was from the earlier days, and I was reading it's 3 to 5 days before it gets through. But anyway, some of the milk she gave me had colostrum in it, and because she had frozen all the solid, or not, what's the right way to say it? When she first started milking the cow, because she's milk sharing with the calf, she froze the colostrum that was pure colostrum so she would have it on hand. This was like a mix of milk and colostrum, and we just mixed it together and we put it in the feed. Hey, Langley's Build a Homestead. I'm so ready to have a milk cow here. We have to have a barn built first, though. I love raw milk. That's awesome. Hey, Gather Together Homestead. Hey, Nancy, our treasured home. Good to see everybody. So, yeah, and she's right down the road from me versus, I think it's Serendipity Farms, which is about an hour away, and having to transport milk and all that stuff. Yeah, the pig's got an immunity boost, and that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. So I was really excited about that. And I figured it couldn't hurt them. If you look online, for those of you saying you're looking for it, if you look online, there's websites that will tell you who has raw milk in your state for what purpose, because some of it is for dogs only, you know how that is, or something like that. Congrats on your milk cow next week, Gathered Together. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely look it up. Yeah, I know Canada, it's not allowed. Diesel just jumped up. Diesel was sleeping and I just heard him jump up on the couch and bark. That's so weird. But yeah, the pigs were thrilled to get it, so it's pretty cool. Heather's been crafting, it sounds like. Suburban Hillbilly said, sent you a very special picture. I will look. I will definitely look. That's awesome. Yes, the boss is speaking. It's so funny. Sometimes he totally doesn't hear the TV, and other days he's like crazy. Good night, Rochelle. Brampton Gardner. Yeah, there's a bunch of places it's not allowed, Ariella. That's a whole other debate. Whole other debate. We'll save that conversation for another time. We are really excited. We have dairy goats right now, and they are great as well. That's gathered together. And then Langley said we have goats right now, but the babies are getting the milk for now. So what's your next adventure, Lisa? Yarn painting. Today was making food. That was my adventure for today. I signed up for a kombucha class. At the homesteading store in April. So I'm going to do that because I've been wanting to make that. Trying to think. I don't know. So we're getting towards the busy time. So we'll have our chicks. We'll have our chicks in end of April, and I have that class, and then it'll be busy, busy, busy. So probably not a lot over the summer. You're doing another grafting class Sunday or crafting class Sunday? Awesome. Hope you're doing well, growing with Hudson. Oh, grafting for fruit trees. We have a video on kombucha. Awesome. Hey, Drops. Hope you're doing well. We trying to think. Yeah, it's free, so why not, Annette, right? Might as well go. They have something on biochar too for the garden and for pigs. I was going to sign up for that, but I don't know if I can get there that day. But definitely have to get the seeds done. Definitely have to soap is also a big one. Soap is a big one. I have to I rendered down some lard, and I'm going to make some lard soap from our pig that we harvested. And then I also have tallow I need to render. So there's always a million things, right? It's just trying to get to them all. That's the problem. I also want to make some whipped tallow lotion and also candles. Definitely make some candles because I think that would be neat. Oh, you rendered some lard too. Awesome. Yeah, for anybody who's in South Dakota, I mean, I know if you're in Western South Dakota, if you're anywhere near Hot Springs, Harvey's Homestead Supply is amazing. They're just a great family, and they're just starting up this store, and they're just doing some amazing things. They've got some amazing products. So it's pretty cool. Heather, do you use a milking machine or do you milk by hand? I'm kind of curious. All kinds of fun stuff, Rebecca. All kinds of fun stuff. So tell me what's going on with you guys. Just looking through the chat, seeing what I missed. Growing with Hudson is canning tallow. One of our local restaurants in town is going to start frying with tallow and using tallow for everything, which I thought was pretty cool. Hi, Lynn, the okie dokie. How do you make that lotion? The whipped tallow? To be determined. I've read up some, I've looked online on how to do it. You have to render it first several times, and once it's rendered, then you can whip it. I just don't know what else goes into it. I have to look. I've not made it before. So that's where I'm at with it. But I definitely want to Whip it. I don't know if you have to add like some stabilizer in there to keep it whipped, because you know how lard can turn white, like, well, tallow can turn white. I don't know if it turns back like lard does. If it gets hot, like coconut oil, it's cold, it's hard. If it's warm, it's loose. I don't know that much. I'm still learning. Yeah, it's a big switch. I wish a lot of them would switch over to it, but they have to go against all the things they said that were bad, right? Now they're good. Hey, another time, good to see you. But yeah, I'm just trying to look into things. The lard for me is more important because I'm trying to do things with it that come from here. So the lard comes from here, and having soap that we make from here is very meaningful to me. So I'm excited about it. Hey, Simply Jan, hope you're doing well. What are you guys up to this weekend? Everybody's saying hi. I saw this thing that was totally random thought, but while I was waiting for the live, I saw this thing. But actually, I'm going to hold off because here, let me put this on the screen. So Q said a cup of tallow, a quarter of carrier oil, tablespoon of vitamin E, and whip it. Whip it real good. Dun, 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 dun. Another time is painting. So many health misconceptions are going to be looked at again to see if it's really that bad. So true. So true. Yeah. Yep. You are right, Ariella. Jennifer Ocean says depends on how much snow melts and if the temperature isn't freezing cold. Oh, I totally get that. I totally get that. What are you painting another time? I got you, Q. Quarter of a cup. Sounds good. Thank you for that information. Yeah, that's all right. Jan's on her phone, so she can't tag everybody. Just letting you know. Cabin skirting. That's what another time is doing. Cabins, painting cabin skirting. Goober Mint Guide to Good Eating. If it tastes good, spit it out. No kidding. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like I said, that's a whole other conversation. Simply Jan is installing a new chicken water. Exciting. We're going to a comedy show tomorrow and dinner. I really don't even want to go to dinner. I really don't even want to eat out anymore sometimes, I got to tell you. Trust me, that's shocking for me. I just feel like the food we eat at home is so much better. Unless, of course, it's like Chinese or what was the other one? I can't think of the other place, but yeah, I hope it is fun. I hope it is fun. We're gonna go with two other couples, so we'll see how that is. Just trying to figure out how to work it around chores. Yeah, I know. It's just we have these conversations all the time about how we're eating such good food now, and it's like you go out and it's like the food is better at home. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Langley's, it is fun. We end up we're actually going to the next town over, so it'll be interesting, but it'll be fun, I hope. Drops makes his own Chinese food. You're amazing. I've made some stuff. It's just not the same. But I just like Chinese food. And now that we have that restaurant down in Hot Springs, it's pretty cool. That's the other one. Mexican down there is amazing too. It is crazy expensive. So expensive, and it's not even good. It's really sad when you have better meat at home because you got it from a local rancher or you grew it yourself, excuse me. So it's just like frustrating. But eating at home takes planning, right? You got to plan because you got to defrost everything and have that in there. You do your own Mexican food too? Jeez, drops. Good for you. That's awesome. Have a great weekend, Holman's Homestead. Good luck tomorrow with the hog processing. Hope it goes smoothly. Breakfast, hash browns, 2 biscuits, bacon, and hash browns. That's in flipping $20. Wow. And you make tamales too? I think I'm getting invited to a tamale party. I don't know what the person was thinking making them. That's us. The only thing going out for is Chinese or Mexican. We have 3 restaurants in town, so I'm trying to figure out how to make that at home too. Yeah. That's awesome. Starved peasants. That's too funny. You guys are too funny. Yeah, so I don't know. The sourdough sandwich bread that I made today, and I bought a Pullman loaf pan, which is more of a learning curve than I thought it was. But I am thankful that it came out well. Mexican food sucks here. Yeah, I can imagine that. No eggs, no toast. That's crazy. Heather, that's nuts. Yum tamales. I told my husband once our house is finished, I'll be making tamales from scratch. There's just no room in the camper for that. Yeah, no kidding. Drop says I'm good at making it all. There you go. Is Gail in here? I saw hi Gail, but I didn't see her. I wonder. Um, anywho. Yeah. Anywho. So I'm trying to think of what else. So we're looking forward to Piglets July 10th. So or around that time. So that'll be exciting. Hopefully Fiona gets bred here pretty soon to have another litter of piglets. I was reading about social stress, like I was talking about the whole thing earlier, but I was also reading about social stress among them. So I think having Eleanor out right now is going to be helpful. I know it's causing Norman some stress to be with Auntie Eleanor, but trying to think of what else we are doing. I think that's it. It's one of those things where it's all going to be, everything's going to hit the wall at one point. Um, I know that we've gotten everything cleaned up for, after winter. Supposedly we're in spring now, but we can get snow until May. Yeah, the babies are adorable. They really are. Piglets are my favorite, Heather. They are my favorite. I love raising pigs. I would love to have a ton of pigs, but we will see. We're hoping to keep 2 so we can raise for meat. So that'll be good. When do you get your piglets, Langleys? Curious. Because, wow, you're getting a lot here lately. That's cool. Piglets are adorable. They're my absolute favorite, and they're so darn smart. One piece of advice I will give you: feeding needs to be calm. I've learned so much in teaching mine to sit. Oh, cool. Yeah, make sure they're calm. Make sure they sit for food. You don't want them all wound up, because I've got some older ones that get all wound up. Because I didn't know when I first got them, but they're smart creatures. They do well. And now my boar and Norman sit for dinner. Grant will even sit when he's with the girls. But when the food hits the bowl, he pushes them out of the way because he's a brute. But definitely, one thing that I've learned is quiet, calm feedings are so much better. But piglets are the best. All right, guys. Well, I am whooped, I got to tell you. So I think I'm going to get going. I just wanted to pop on and talk a little bit about the planning versus not planning, because I think we all do a lot of both. Because the reality of it is you got to go with the flow. What do we use for feeders? Me. Heather, we have a blue food grade barrel cut in half for the boys, and there's 2 halves chained to the fence. And we have 3 black rubber bowls with handles chained to the fence by the girls, and that's because the boar goes in there. But it just makes it easier to feed without having to go in. When it's just the girls, I usually fish for their bowls down the pasture, but not anymore. So that's what we feed with. And I'm a firm believer in soaking feed overnight. I usually soak it in water so they get a lot of hydration. And then adjust it as I need to. So that's what I was saying earlier with the raw milk. They got it soaked in raw milk. So, well, I am wishing you all a wonderful weekend. Thanks for coming. Sorry, I'm kind of blah. It was just a long day. But yes, Langleys, they are super intelligent animals, and definitely train them, because it's a lot easier when you train them to move them. It's easier to do a lot of things, because even though I bucket train mine, Fiona and even Norman love to take off on me. Eleanor is motivated. She'll follow. Grant, he'll break out and come up to the house and tell me he broke out. He's the best boar ever. But definitely. Well, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. Have a good day, whatever time it is by you, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.